Hello and good morning. My name is Mitchell and I am an alcoholic. Today is June 5th and I have your daily reflections from the Daily Reflections book. This one is titled Entirely Ready. This is the step that separates the men from the boys. The difference between the boys and the men is the difference between striving for a self-determined objective and for the perfect objective, which is God. It is suggested that we ought to become entirely willing to aim toward perfection. The moment we say, no, never, our minds close against the grace of God. This is the exact point at which we abandon limited objectives and move toward God's will for us. That comes from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 63, 68, and 69. And it continues. Am I entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character? Do I know at long last that I cannot save myself? I have come to believe that I cannot. If I am unable, if my best intentions go wrong, if my desires are selfishly motivated, and if my knowledge and will are limited, then I am ready to embrace God's will for my life. I feel like every single one is my favorite one. But I am truly loving this one because step 6 is a very important one as well. To believe that you can have these defects of character removed, because these are the things that we've carried around with us for years or our whole lives, even some of these things, and they are very detrimental to our success in recovery. Because if we do not face these fears, we carry them around with us and they turn into resentments and anger, anxiety, depression, all things that will lead to relapses, benders, jails, institutions, and death, like I always say. I've got a few things that I was writing down about step 6. When you're doing your list and you're telling your sponsor or a clergyman or someone these defects of character and things you've done, you seriously cannot hold anything in. Like I just said, you've got to let it all out. You cannot hold it in because it's going to kill you. And these are the things that you have to grow through. And like I always say, this is part of the process, and it's not going to be easy because it's hard. It's hard every single day. Some days better than others. I can't say that it's hard every single day, but you've got to change. You've got to change a lot in your life. They say the only thing you got to change is everything, and it is sad but true. But it is good. It is good for you, because I had to change friends. I had to change places I would go to and things that I do. Luckily, I have hobbies that I can do that don't include drinking. Yet I used to think they would be better with drinking, but they weren't. But you've got to change your friends, because you're just going to be putting yourself around a bunch of temptation which you don't need to put yourself around. Also, again, don't hold anything back, or it's going to make all of this pointless. You can't hold anything back, and if it's the thing you're holding back, that's most likely the worst thing, the thing you don't want to tell. Find someone you can trust and tell that person everything, no matter what, because it is the most liberating and freeing feeling to release that. And it's back to what I was saying. It is hard. It's very hard. Some days are harder than others, like I was saying. And for me, I've just had a really rough couple days, and it's hard to pinpoint why. It's because I'm still growing, and I'll continue to be growing. I have 507 days today, one day at a time. So I'm very early in my recovery still, but other days I feel like I'm doing really great, and I am. But it's just scary how it can creep in there, because I have to be honest, it was popping in my head yesterday. And that's, in my opinion, that's the devil and the addiction in it. was very scary because they say your relapse happens weeks before you actually do it. So even when I'm thinking about it, I'm scared. Did I just relapse because I thought about it? No, I didn't, because I have to realize this is still part of it. I'm going through pain. I'm still overcoming a lot of things, as all of us are, things that have happened in my past, and you just have to go through it because I wrote this down, I would use drinking and using to escape my pain. Little did I realize that I needed that pain. We don't grow without the pain. The feeling of overcoming the pain is like none other. The only way I learned to change my weakness is through pain and suffering. God gave us this pain to learn from and grow. From pain is a part of this trip on earth. I was meant to experience the pain, learn from the pain, and grow through the pain. I was not supposed to numb it and drink and drug it away, try to find other things, sex, all that stuff. It never gets rid of that pain, and I need to experience that pain, and you grow through it. And when you really look at it like that and try to look at pain from a different perspective, it can be a beautiful thing, because at least we're here alive and experiencing the pain. I feel a great connection with my God, and I know suffering is part of the process. It's quite amazing because it's been really hard, but even doing this video here is really good. For me, it also took going to change back to saying going away from your persons, places, and things. I got DWIs, so I had to go. I had to go away, or I was going to relapse again, and who knows what. Most likely, jails, institutions, or death. But I had to go to the Salvation Army, which I'd been there before when I was 27 years old, and I am 38 now. And it did help me. I stayed sober for like 2 years, and I stopped going to my meetings, and that's one of the most important things. You stop going to your meetings. I wasn't going to church, and you think you have it. Don't let it fool you. It's cunning and baffling and powerful, and when you stop going, it will creep in that you've got it, because our egos are still very strong, and we're like, hey, I know the rules. I don't need to go to a meeting and listen to a bunch of drunks talk about their problems. When now I realize that is exactly what I need. I need to be in there. I need to see other people that are freshly coming in sick. I'm still sick and will always be sick, but I could take my daily medicine, like my sponsor says, and my medicine is in my meetings. So I don't care if it's the same people. I love those people, and that is my family, and I need that. And it is hard right now with this coronavirus, but don't fall into the normality of everyday things of just I don't need that anymore. Normality meaning my life is normal and good now. I don't need those meetings. Still, you need those, and you need to have a conscious contact with a higher power, or chances are you're not going to succeed. It's pretty simple if you just do that stuff, and an hour a day. But anyway, back to Salvation Army. I had to go there knowing I was going to be in there for 6 months or more, but I knew I would be sober in there. I just knew it because I know myself, and I'd been there before, and some people need to be held accountable for that kind of stuff. I knew if I was out on the streets, I could easily relapse. They held me accountable there, and you have to be serious about your recovery, because there's ways you could sneak around and do stuff. We all know it. We're addicts. People were sneaking around drinking and stuff. They eventually get caught, but that wasn't even in my mind, because I knew why I was there. I went there with the intention to get clean and sober. So that's good. Go find a rehab. I suggest a Salvation Army is very good. And start your recovery program. But when you get to step 6, do not forget to not leave anything out. Find someone you can trust. Write all of the stuff that you've done. Like my sponsor said, you can go back as far as you can possibly remember. Make that list thorough. try to mainly focus on those bigger ones, which I find are usually relationship issue ones, or stealing from people and that kind of stuff. But they're embarrassing. But you get through that, and you are a clean new person. You get through that. You do your step work, and life is a beautiful thing and can be wonderful even in these times that are very, very hard. I had to take a step back from Facebook right now because it's just too much. You see too much hate and racism, especially, and it's hard to not get mad, because then that's one of the triggers that can lead to resentment and stuff. And got to be very careful, and the media knows what they're doing with that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to get in too much of a rant with that. I just love everyone, and I can't understand how people can't love everyone and people choose to hate people based off the color of their skin. It is unreal to me, but I'm very happy that I'm aware and awake. It just baffles my mind. I don't understand the judgment people can have on other people when we all know someone in our life like that. And especially the ones that are of certain religions that seem to choose violence and hatred, which is something their Savior would never, ever have taught and died for, to not be that way. So it's just, I'm ranting a little bit, but it's just very hypocritical to me, and I don't understand it. So I'll pray for everyone. And either way, thank you for listening. This really helps me a lot, and I hope you can please spread this channel to other people. Now that I won't be on Facebook, being able to share it there, I don't know how much I'll be able to connect with people, but I know I need people. Just like I need my recovery, and I just want to help people and pay it forward. That's the whole goal of all this. We're not going to be here forever. I just want to help as many people as I can, and I feel it is a certain calling that I have to do, and it's what I'm supposed to do, because I'm an empath and I love people, and I want to help as many people as I can. And I love all of you guys, and I hope you are staying safe, and I hope that you are open-minded and understanding of other things in the world, and not be so closed off to listening to new ideas and to change, because change is good. Don't stay the same way if it's obviously not working for you. Don't be like me and wait multiple times till you finally get there. Life is short, and love everyone. And I love all you guys again, one day at a time, and peace out.